Welcome to another episode of Mick and the Fat Man, where we are talking artists, albums, and everything music. Well, g'day everybody from sunny Australia. Welcome to another exciting episode of Mick and the Fat Man Series 4, episode number 17 or 16. We don't know. G'day, Mick. Happy rock and roll to you, sir. And how are you travelling?
Mate, as soon as I could get my numbers in a row, I'll be travelling great.
Yeah. We're a bit numerically challenged at the moment for some reason.
Yeah, because I seem to recall you introducing episode 16 2 or 3 episodes ago.
I'm just going with episode 16 all the time. It's a lucky number. 1 and 6 equals 7. 7's a lucky number. If you're playing craps, shooting craps. Anyway, Mick, a bit of feedback, which is always exciting. Pete's at us again.
He must have nothing to do. He just sits there on a Saturday afternoon thinking, God, half a bottle of bourbon down, what'll I do?
I've been trying. Well, we've already mentioned he's supposed to be fucking sorting out the 747 for us to sleep in.
I'm not seeing any aircraft activity.
I'm
nothing. Very disappointed with that.
Seeing nothing from him. He's just sitting up there in Longreach, just drinking long necks, I think.
How appropriate.
Sitting up in Longreach, drinking long necks.
And before we go, I just want to congratulate you on the case.
Oh, really?
I think it's wonderful that you've kept the consistency
in the intro.
Yeah.
Well, illiteracy is one of my great traits.
And I think if it's your skill, you got to play it. You got to run it as hard as you can. And I like the way you're doing it. Yeah. Everything. Who'd have thought of it?
I've got to try and stop using the G anywhere. I've got to use the K constantly.
Oh, right.
While I think of it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. In fact, I'm thinking about doing. As you know, we talked about Scary Monsters last time, Mick.
Yeah.
And the actual song "Scary Monsters."
Yeah.
He sounds like he's singing through a fan. Have you noticed that? His voice sounds like he's singing through a fan.
Through a fan, as in blows the wind.
Yeah. When you sing your voice goes a little bit sort of distorted. He's got the sort of a distorted sound to his voice.
Singing into a fan is not something I've done a lot of.
No, well, you're mad. You should be doing it because you get a sort of a bit of a flutter to your voice. Anyway, I've decided from this point forward I'm going to be carrying a fan with me at all times and I'm going to be talking through a fan to everybody.
I love it.
So from next time you see me, I'll sound a bit like that.
Yeah. It was now that I think of it, I didn't think of it earlier, but in the 80s and 90s there was a lot of that fan on film clips.
Fan
to
action.
Blow the hair back.
It's fan action.
And so they're singing into the fan with their hair blown back. It's they're perfect.
Arm out forward, hair flowing back.
Yeah.
Everybody looking fantastic.
I tried the hair flowing back, but there was nothing to flow.
Oh.
It was very dull indeed.
Told you, mate. You've got to get rid of that testosterone. It's doing you no good whatsoever.
Well, so they say.
Just get rid of that and you'll get your hair back. Telling you now. Anyway, so what's Pete got to say for himself?
Well, look, Pete seems to have adopted the role of unofficial correspondent to our podcast, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. He
writes well indeed. That's a lifetime of experience. And I think maybe we could even make What's in Pete's Letterbox one of our segments for next year.
How good would that be?
That would be great.
What's Pete saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He could phone in a story for us. G'day, everybody. Just up here in Longreach, just sitting on the 747. I wonder if you've ever listened to music on a 747. Well, let's get into it. Blah, blah, blah. And just does a critique of music in the 747 in Longreach.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how rock and roll history is written.
You better get on to him.
I will.
And we'll get this moving.
Yeah, Pete, we need you.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Look, so what he's done, he's been inspired by one of our very early episodes, Countdown. And he's flipped on, he's trying to educate his kids.
Yeah.
So on iView, the commercial channel's streaming channel, there's classic Countdown.
He's there?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to start watching that.
Yeah, I think we got to. Yeah.
There's some fantastic stuff on there.
Absolutely. Fantastic in its loosest possible interpretation.
Yeah. I like it both ways.
Yes.
What was that band?
Supernaut.
Oh.
Yeah. I know Molly had a bit of a problem with that because he did.
Yeah.
And he's tied in Countdown, our early Countdown, and he's watching Countdown on the TV for free with Wahine and Wangaratta, or Wangaratta Wahine.
Which we did speak about.
Which we did speak about several weeks ago.
We did.
Yes. And apparently it was a long clip, which I've yet to see. And he says it left the entire family slack-jawed with wonder. And that's the type of effect that we're looking for every episode. Slack-jawed wonder.
That's a gem of a name, isn't it? Slack-jawed wonder.
So he's quite understanding. The ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, has they compiled the classic countdowns from whatever tape remained. You remember we talked about great moments in our time. They took something like 100 episodes and taped over them back in the day when they were able to reuse tapes. Yeah. And they just lost Australian history.
So some budgetary person said, no, just reuse those ones. And whoever that person is should be condemned.
I would certainly hope that suitable action has already been taken with the person, because just think they could have used those tapes, sold them all as classic countdown and made a fortune. Instead of just reusing dud second-hand tape.
And God knows what's over top of it. Probably Bluebird or what was the Bellbird, something like that. Anyway.
Yep.
All right, okay. What else is he? So Wahine and Wangaratta, what a great song.
Well, he says, we plan to work through the classic countdown episodes on takeaway night to astonish and appall the kids. I think that's a bit harsh. Educate them, bring them up to a standard. I think that's all good. Illuminate what the real world used to be like. All of those things. I think that's important. But he's going to do it chronologically. So he says, next stop 76, whatever that may bring.
What will that bring? I've got no idea.
Definitely. What's Pete been watching on? It's a segment for next year. It's
got
to be perfect. Yeah. What's Pete watching? What's Pete listening to? Yeah.
What's Pete doing?
Yeah. Exactly.
What's Pete drinking?
Yeah.
What's he smoking? What's he taking?
What's he taking to be able to write these? It's all good stuff.
Is Pete slack-jawed today?
Yeah.
I don't know. We want to know. We want to know where he's going. Anyway, Mick, I can look over there in the corner and I see our beautiful Glowbite travel bag. And as you know, it's got luxurious interior. But in order to get to that luxurious interior, we must, of course, unlock it and just get that one over there. And I think, there's one just there.
There's the one inside.
Get that one inside.
Don't forget that.
There it is.
Got it? Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Look who's inside.
What is it?
It's Nick Lowe.
Nick Lowe.
Who, I hear you ask?
Well, I would say Nick Lowe, a blast from the past.
Well, he certainly is a blast from the past. That's very true. How'd we get Nick Lowe?
Is he still alive?
Apparently so.
Well, there you go.
Alive, touring, recording. All the good things that we like to talk about.
Wow. Okay.
So he's a valid selection for this episode.
He certainly is.
Nick. There's Nicks everywhere. People. Nick from Victoria. He sent us. We're forever asking. We're saying to our listeners, if you want us to talk about something, let us know, because we can't read your bloody minds. So tell us what you want us to talk about. Whether it's an artist, whether it's an album, whether it's a time, an event. We'll have a look at it. So he sent us several strongly worded requests for Nick Lowe. And then he sent me a book via email of what he'd like to see in that episode. I didn't bother writing anything. I just used Nick's notes. It's fantastic.
Wow.
So that was really easy. We could go to the pub that afternoon, come back, and thanks, Nick. Let's use your notes.
Yeah, the book and a manila folder, if I remember correctly.
That had all the photos.
I
don't think there were any of Nick Lowe in there. I think. Yeah.
I don't know what it was doing. Some of them were a bit weird.
I was a bit worried about holding the camera, but Nick Lowe. I knew Nick Lowe from the 70s, but I didn't know anything of what he'd done since. And it's a fascinating story.
All right.
So really looking forward to laying that out for you today.
Well, before we chat about Nick Lowe, have I got some amazing Yeah, baby. All the news that is rock. All the news that is rock. All the news that is rock is here right now. What have I got for you?
Oasis will tour 2025. See Oasis live in Australia.
Yeah, baby.
Stadium Melbourne and Accor Stadium Sydney, October and November 2025. Get tickets.
You excited?
I
know you are.
I think I've got to go out for dinner at the local Chinese that night.
Oh, not going to miss it, are you?
Well, I don't think it'll happen.
It's a long way off, isn't it? That's a year away.
I've heard whisper that in the contract they've got that they've signed for this tour and the UK tour, they've got a must get on element in the contract.
To get paid.
Yeah.
Now, did you know that there was a ballot to get onto the list to potentially be able to buy the tickets? So you had to. So the whole idea, the whole thing was that you had to be an Oasis fan. So you had to go online and answer some questions about Oasis, and then if you answered them correctly, then you could get into the ballot to be drawn out to potentially purchase a ticket.
At a fixed price or dynamic pricing?
No dynamic pricing, fixed price.
Good.
So they had to. So you had to get on there, and it said, who's the better writer in Oasis and those sorts of things. What's Liam do in his spare time and all that sort of stuff.
Seriously, in Australia,
there was actually had to answer some questions to actually get onto the ballot to then get your name drawn out to be able to buy the tickets. Oh, no. So that all happened on the day that it went out. They'd all be gone by now. But anyway, so
that's a shame because my answer to all those questions would have been, "Who cares?"
That's right. Who do you think? Yeah. Well, anyway, it was fantastic. Great news to see them coming out here, and they'll be. And once again, if they actually do ever get here, they'll suck the life out of the music industry for a few weeks, a bit like Taylor did. And
oh no,
there'll be nothing else going on the television or anything except these two bozos out there getting interviewed. And it'll be great to see a really shit interview as they get off the plane. What do you think of Australia? Type of questions. I'd love to see that. That'd be great.
Well, I just had to sit in a plane with this clown.
He set up the
Who you calling a clown?
boom, 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 boom.
Exactly, yes.
Anyway, let's move on.
Don't unpack the plane, boys.
The Cure have got a new single out, and with a look to getting a new album out. Fragile Thing is their new single. And I did note that when I saw a picture of Robert Smith, he's looking worse than us.
That's really sad.
He doesn't look good. But anyway, so that's pretty exciting. So we'll look forward to listening to that album, that song when it comes out.
Who'd have thought that 40 years on? Oh, yeah.
40.
Who'd have thought that 40 years on we'd be talking about a new album from The Cure? When they were sitting there in their lounge room, in a tripped out heroin haze.
That's it. Now, I've got a revelation for you, mate.
Yeah?
This is a revelation. Ozzy Osbourne. Now, we love it. We love an Ozzy story. We always love to see Ozzy in the news.
Please refer earlier comments about The Cure and insert the word Ozzy into that sentence.
Ozzy recently confessed that he's been indulging in a bit of weed.
Who'd have thought?
And so he's been doing on a September instalment of the Madhouse Chronicles. It's Osbourne's new online talk show with Billy Idol guitarist Billy Morrison. Both co-hosts were discussing their long, tumultuous histories with drugs, and Osbourne, who's been basically drug-free for a long time now, admitted that these days he's happier, but I'm not completely sober, is what he said. I use a bit of marijuana from time to time.
No, he's falling back.
Yeah, so anyway, he did point out that Sharon was the person that actually got him off all of the drugs in the first place. But, he's just said that he's still partaking a little bit, which shocked and amazed me. I don't know what to say about that.
Well,
poor old Aussie.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Now another exciting tour, mate. The Eagles. Who would have thought the Eagles are touring again?
Who'd have thought? I thought hell had already frozen over.
Yeah, well, it has a few times by the looks of things, and they're touring in 2025, and they're going to do it at your favourite venue, a 10-week residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas.
Oh God!
And
10-week residency.
Yeah, you'd go every night, wouldn't you?
It's hardly the young artist cutting edge trying to do something different. Artists that the Eagles started out as.
No, they'd be out there. They do their concert, and they go back, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, have a cup of tea, go and have a respectable sort of morning tea somewhere, a bit of light lunch, down to the gym, work out a little bit at the gym. But Joe Walsh is going to be there, so that's good.
He's good.
Yeah, so Joe will be there.
Hope he's not going to attempt to get AI to trash a hotel room.
That might be his next, goal. Can he get AI to trash a hotel room? Who knows? But so unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. I don't know why I said unfortunately. Fortunately, Eagles are going to do another tour. So fantastic. So we'll be
Something
going.
to look forward to.
So we'll be going to Las Vegas next year. We're going to go and see 3 nights at the Sphere. We're going to spend 3 nights going to see them at the Sphere.
Are we in the ballot for the tickets?
We'll get them, I'm sure. I don't know when they go on sale, but I'll get some.
Yeah.
But what we want to do, we want to go to Las Vegas, and we want to go on the Flying Fox that goes through the shopping centres. Have you seen that?
I've been on it. It's awesome.
There you go.
It really is fantastic.
So I want to go on that and see if you beat me.
I love Las Vegas. It's so fake. It's the epitome of America. It's the only place I've ever seen where the hookers hand out business cards with their number and a photo on.
That's fantastic. So we got to go, and I think we're definitely going to go to the Sphere, because really the Sphere fits perfectly into Las Vegas.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you see the F1 in Las Vegas, the Formula One Grand Prix in Las Vegas?
No.
So they drove around past the Sphere, this thing, this round thing. And what it does, it's because it's got all LED screens on the outside and the inside.
Oh, for God's sake.
There's a happy face, the big smiley face, type yellow smiley face. It actually looks down and follows the cars as they go past. I thought that was quite good. Something different, God, you're
outside, it's America.
Yeah, you've got your boring now. Now, listen. 1001 albums you must listen to before you die. Robert Dimery, editor, 2021. I've upped the ante. I have upped the ante, mate. I've gone all the way forward to page 720. And we've got some music by someone by the name of Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr. Familiar with his work?
Sadly, some.
Sick of this. Get those just eat fools on the line for me. We're gonna do this doggy style.
Did somebody say just eat?
Me, get delivery like a G. See, hungry dogs gotta eat.
Familiar?
I get mines every day, every week. Chicken wings to the crib, I'm sitting in. Burger in the low. Hope they put the pickle in. Wonton on a catamaran. Oodles and noodles, thank you, my man. Tacos to the chateau.
Tacos to the chateau.
Did somebody say
Just eat.
My man hand glide by with my fried rice. Right? What could you not love? Bought a slice on the side of the hot tub. Ooh, what you gon' do, boo? Chocolate fondue right on cue. Even dipping in this.
Yeah, mate. It's Snoopy Dogg. So Snoop Dogg and his album Doggystyle.
Wasn't that the menu log ad?
It was. I think that's the best thing he's done.
Oh, dreadful.
Now, the reason I decided to talk about Snoop Dogg is because he sort of regained a huge amount of notoriety by being at the Paris Olympics as sort of the US team's the US teams like chaperone sort of thing. So he was everywhere. He was dining in 3 Michelin-starred restaurants with Martha Stewart. He was at the swimming. He was everywhere. In fact, I'll play a little clip of him here.
They have taken home gold medals, but D.O.G. took home the biggest bag from the 2024 Olympics. Snoop was very active during the Paris Olympics and had the time of his life. He first kicked off the sporting event as a torchbearer for Team USA and had a lot of memorable moments after, like how he attempted every sport from fencing to running and how he coached the women's beach volleyball team. He also went on a Michelin dining with his best friend Martha Stewart, while they both donned the equestrian look. Snoop even met with Michael Phelps for swimming lessons before closing out the Olympics with Dr. Dre at Venice Beach. After the eventful activities were done, he went on social media and suggested that he was paid a total of $9 million for all his shenanigans in Paris. It was also reported
that'd be all right if you can get $9 million for doing a bit of that action, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I would have done it probably for 8.
That's right.
Let's start a bidding war to the bottom.
So anyway, so he was there doing all this stuff. He was sitting there in the dressage, dressed up in a dressage outfit with the helmet on and all the black coat and tails and all that sort of stuff. He looked great because he's a very cool-looking dude. And if you're into his music, well, you'd love this album. I don't really love it. I'm not really into the music, but I kind of like it. He's a bit of a cool dude.
Look, I buy that. I cannot talk about his album because it has no meaning to me whatsoever. I think, he's obviously got some ability, but
so
it's not me.
He burst on the scene. This was his first album. He was still in the middle, in the middle of a murder trial. His bodyguard had killed somebody, and he was implicated that it may have been him that told the person who to kill. And the album is sort of a classic album because it's the first of the partnerships between himself and Dr. Dre, who was a great hip-hop producer and maker of music as well. But there is a lot of motherfucking going on this album. I mean, a lot of motherfucking.
Yeah.
And a lot of nigger talk. He talks about niggers all the time.
Well, only a black man can do that.
That's right.
Anybody else would be cancelled like crazy.
That's right. So I'm just going to read out some of the lyrics for Shiznit, one of the songs on there. I'm fin to fuck a bitch. What's her name? It's Luke. You try to see me on the TV. You're a BGDOGG. Yes, I'm OG. You can see me. You can see my homie, Dr. Dre. So what a fucking nigga go like you gotta say. Gotta take a trip to the MIA.
It doesn't sound any better when you do it, Jeffrey.
Great lyrics. So they make sense, those lyrics, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, in general, this is if you're into hip hop music, this is a classic album. And he's kind of like rap's sort of cuddliest porn star, you know. He's sort of just this cool dude rapping it out, really cool music. I listened to about half of it, which I thought was quite an achievement.
Oh my God!
Did you listen to any of it?
I've listened to a little bit of Snoop Dogg, and I've got to tell you, I couldn't stand it. Can't comment on it. And I know that sounds remarkably insular by me, but there you go. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, no, he's
yeah.
It's not. Look, this is not really our cup of tea. But I figured that, given that he was so prominent recently in the Olympics, I thought, we might just see if we can have a bit of a listen to him. But what I will play you is one of his classic songs, which is on this album, but it's actually from the closing ceremony of the Olympics. So he's actually on the closing ceremony as well.
Fantastic.
So you're going to love this. I know you will. So he's actually singing
Welcome, Snoop Dogg!
on Venice Beach.
Here we go, y'all. Can somebody say ho?
Ho! Ho! Ho!
Say bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay.
Wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay.
Say bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D or Double G. But I somehow, someway keep coming up with funky hits like every single day.
How good's that?
Finished? Should I come back now?
Oh, Mick, come on.
It's
a bit of fun. He's cool, isn't he, eh?
I don't think I'm qualified to answer that because...
All right.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. How about we just finish off really quickly with also at the Olympics, and he's actually doing a little bit of action with Dr. Dre. So there's Dr. Dre and him doing a bit of action here. This is also the closing ceremony. So, I mean, they're big. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg at the closing Olympics.
It certainly indicates their position in
Olympic land.
In the firmament of the US.
Well,
yes.
I know when you talk about Olympics, I think Snoop Dogg.
Well, you would, yeah.
Anyway, we give Snoop Dogg a big thumbs up. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Lovely work.
Look, you know, my son has special needs.
Yeah.
And we go to Bali semi-regularly.
Yeah.
And Ollie was wearing gold chains.
Yeah.
Right, because he likes the idea, and he stole the idea from Justin Bieber. He thought, well, Bieber looks cool when he does it.
Does indeed.
But Bieber stole the idea from Snoop Dogg. And so we're walking along the street, and Ollie's got these. They're not really gold; they're just paste.
Yeah.
With a gold laminate over the top. And the young blokes all trying to sell stuff, of varying degrees of legality, selling things along the street. You know, when they see Ollie go, they go, yeah. And Ollie, he didn't see the irony in it at all.
I love the street sellers in Bali.
It's great,
they can really. I love. They cotton on to exactly who you are. Like, they'll be walking up behind you. They don't even know who you are, and they'll say, "G'day, mate."
Exactly.
Oh, Australian. No, it's a Bali guy.
Yeah. They've got the ability to mimic whatever accent,
Whatever
at least for a couple of words. Snoop Dogg, he's a lot on TV. He's got an extensive TV history. Movies and TVs. Lots of things about rap music, of course, which I just won't even bother to comment on. But he also plays the epitome of a cool New York street player. He played Huggy Bear in Starsky and Hutch.
Was that him, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and he also there was an Addams Family animated series of movies, and he played Cousin It, or gave the voice to Cousin It.
Really?
Yeah, which I must say.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, whenever I'd seen Cousin It, I always thought, needs a black rapper who's super cool.
He's a cool porn star.
And not to mention, he had the epitome of hitdom. He had a guest appearance on Mariah Carey's Christmas special.
No, you've hit the big time there.
Forget the Olympics. Mariah Carey's Christmas special.
Forget the Muppets.
Yeah.
You're straight into the top shelf with Mariah Carey's Christmas show.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Anyway, we'll move on, mate. We'll move on. What do you got to talk? We got to have a bit of a chat about Nick Lowe.
Nick Lowe.
Give us some info. Give us some info of Nick Lowe.
Some Nick Lowe info, yes. Yeah, when you listen to this episode, and unless you're a real chronic rock history person, your first reaction is going to be who? And then you're going to be, oh, him, I know those songs, which is nice, but he's people who listen to this podcast, whose knowledge of music may not be encyclopedic, just like us, but who've listened to more than the top 40 throughout their life, are going to have at least heard some Nick Lowe stuff.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And his story is really interesting. I must say, thank you, Nick Farmer from Northeast Victoria. It was great actually doing the research about Nick and finding out what he's done since and what he does and his approach to life. Look, he was always bound for rock and roll. So he was a kid in public school in the UK. His father was a British Army major, so he wasn't your struggling lower middle class guy trying to bust out of the slums like the Clash or somebody like that. He was always reasonably well off, and he went to private school, and he started out to become a journalist. This is brilliant. he's a trainee journalist. You know, he's on that intern path.
Yep.
He was sent out to review The Love Bug. You remember the Disney movie, The Love Bug, Herbie the Love Bug?
I do.
So he got pissed, passed out, and didn't see the movie. So he was always set for a rock and roll lifestyle.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
In 1963, he formed a school band with his mate Brinsley Schwarz. Now, you couldn't make that name up. That has to be real.
That's a great name, isn't it?
Isn't it great? So they formed a band called Brinsley Schwarz because you couldn't make that name up.
I've never heard the name Brinsley before
it's
in my
a
life.
very English name, isn't it? Yeah.
It sounds English, but I've never heard it.
No, never
Never
have
heard
I.
it.
Yeah. So this is when they're at school. He didn't have an instrument, so his friend who was in woodworking class built him a bass that had to be tuned with pliers.
Really?
So, hang on, I'm just out of tune. Let me just get my toolkit. Blunk, blunk.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But while he's a kid, in a school band, he wrote, "What's so funny about peace, love and understanding?"
Does he?
Yeah. When he was a kid, when he's a teenager at school.
Almighty.
That's talent. That's not a bad effort for a teenager still in school.
Yeah, I'll say.
So they went on and they reformed Brinsley Schwarz as a proper band once they'd left school, and they got a publicity company to try and break them, make them a big success. So in 1970, the promotional company flew a plane load of British journalists to New York to see them play at the Fillmore East, opening for Van Morrison and Quicksilver Messenger Service. Now, there was a storm and the plane got diverted and landed in Dublin.
What?
The journos all got pissed, missed the show, and apparently Brinsley Schwarz played badly anyway.
Oh, they missed the Brinsleys.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where they were never, ever destined to be a hit. So, and they certainly weren't. They got a second chance. They were one of the first pub rock bands. And pub rock really threw out a lot of people. Ian Dury.
Sure.
Yeah, Ian Dury and the Blockheads.
So what, Brinsley was one of the first pub rock bands?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Now, pub rock, similar to the concept of pub rock in Australia, except our pub rock was a lot louder and a lot more energetic than the UK. But people like Dr. Feelgood, who really, Dr.
Feelgood.
Yeah, very good. Ian Dury and the Blockheads and the 101ers. Sound familiar?
No.
Joe Strummer's first band.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So he went on, left them and formed the Clash. So it was kind of a back to basics reaction against prog rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a precursor to punk. Just a little less safety pins, a little less tattoos.
Yeah.
And a little less funny hair and spitting.
A little bit urine and spitting, yeah.
Yeah. So Brinsley Schwarz didn't make it. They didn't make much of an impact on anybody overseas or even in the UK for that matter. Yeah, I'd heard of them because I remember reading about this whole concept of pub rock. I thought that's interesting. Yeah, all right. What's next? So Lowe used this period in the band and in that pub rock field to get a bit of confidence and a bit of experience out there in the real world, and then go out by himself. Although I'm sure he wouldn't have written it down and planned it out that way himself.
No.
So he playing by himself. He did lots of different sounds. He did a first album called Jesus of Cool. Can you imagine a better rock album name?
You got to feel confident, don't you, to do an album name of that like that, don't you?
Yeah, or at least it's just at least you're prepared to give it a whirl. It's his first album. Many fans still regard it as his best, but the self-mocking title, here we go. It's our shot at America. We haven't done that for a while. It was released. It was considered by the record label as too edgy for the US back in the 70s.
Really?
And it was released in the US as Pure Pop for Now People. Can you imagine a title designed to fail more than Pure Pop for Now People?
That's just awful. Oh, God. That's an old man came up with that, didn't he?
Oh, I would say so. Yeah, a record company executive. So his first album's called Jesus of Cool, and his next album was called Labour of Lust. Now, he's really epitomised rock and roll. in both of those album titles. That's fantastic.
Interesting, there actually was a artist called Jesus of Cool as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, he's pinched the title from the artist.
No, I'd say it's probably the other way around.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's a long time. That's a long time ago, that album, isn't it?
Late 70s.
Yeah, right.
Yep. He's always been a really good songwriter. He writes, and we'll talk a bit about his songwriting approach and his songwriting ability, but he's always been a good songwriter. On Jesus of Cool, there's a song called Marie Prevost, which is a song about a silent film star whose career came crashing down as she turned to drugs and alcohol. Collapsed at home, and she was a winner who became a dog's dinner.
Oh.
So, yeah, a little bit sad, strangely prophetic. Yeah, and the sound of that album, it had echoes of Thin Lizzy.
Oh,
so he was able to adopt a lot of sounds in his in his songs. But all other things aside, basses that you tune with pliers and all sorts of things, he's a singer of love songs. Some of them a little bit left of centre. He takes them from pretty varied sides. People who know Nick Lowe have compared his arc, his story, with that of Warren Zevon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who is...
died of lung cancer.
No,
Oh, right.
Funnily enough, because he didn't die of lung cancer.
Because he's still alive.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we'll give him time. Most of his love songs are taken from the... We'll come back to Warren in a moment. But most of his love songs are taken from the point of view of lost love.
Yeah.
I knew the bride when she used to rock and roll. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
As in when she was interesting. So I keep throwing out all of these things and I keep finding them in researching this episode. And so many songs that we know. And Nick Lowe, and he's really, really very good. Not just his stuff, but stuff he's written for other people as well.
Yeah, a lot of that too, isn't there?
Yeah. In his, right from the start, but more so in his middle period, he carries some sort of country, rockabilly, 60s sensibilities. And I know that...
But he does the range. He's got a very broad palette of music.
I know. I was playing some Nick, trying to get a handle on him one morning, and my wife's insistence on playing morning music in the morning.
Yes.
And she didn't even say this wasn't morning music. She said, "This sounds like country. Turn it off."
Well, some of his stuff is really very country.
It is.
Like you imagine, like good old country and western type stuff, some of it.
Well, much rock does. You look at the stuff that I like and that we like, that we've talked about even on this podcast. Warren Zevon, Neil Young, the Eagles, R.E.M., all have got a greater or lesser country influence. And in fact, some of them have taken that country influence and played it back into country and changed country music. When I first heard Life's Rich Pageant by R.E.M., I was intrigued by the country sound. I thought, who are these guys? Because Michael Stipe's singing is very American. And I thought, okay, all right. And the California sound in general, has big country elements. Jackson Browne, David Lindley, that Tex-Mex sound. Nick Lowe with his songs and his songwriting, and you could do worse than just listen to Spotify or whichever streaming service you listen to, Best of Nick Lowe.
Yeah, that's
just
right.
put that in and you'll get a broad range of stuff. But in our playlist, we're going to put two links. One is the Best of Nick Lowe, and the other one is what I found about Nick Lowe. What I find is interesting and songs that you're probably going to know, and some of these other people that we're talking about here.
Interestingly, if you put Warren Zevon into a Spotify search for whatever, after a playlist, the first song you're always going to get played is Werewolves of London.
Werewolves of London, yeah.
Nick, you'll always get "You Gotta Be Cruel to Be Kind in the Right Measure,"
which is typical of his type of coming at lost love from a different angle. It's on the album Labour of Lust. It's Cruel to Be Kind. Well, I won't try and sing it.
No,
well, I do my best to understand, dear, but you still mystify, and I want to know why. I pick myself up off the ground to have you knock me back down again and again. And when I ask you to explain, you say, "You got to be cruel to be kind." I
in the right measure.
That's right. I defy anyone to tell me honestly that they've never heard that song.
No, it's a classic.
And apparently, I'm still looking for it, and I'm sure I'll find it. The video for Cruel to Be Kind, it's a combination of his wedding video, possibly reenacted, and some badly mimed sections filmed at the Tropicana Motel in West Hollywood. Now, here's another Zevon link. Zevon stayed at the Tropicana in West Hollywood until he was kicked out of there to go to the Hollywood Hawaiian Hotel, where he couldn't afford or didn't pay the rates, and it was in Desperados Under the Eaves. I predict this hotel will be standing until I pay my bill. Do you recall that one?
I do.
So, Cruel to Be Kind, really nice. People say, oh, what's that about? But you listen to it, and it's just talking about manipulative lovers and how he's always, each verse talks about how he's getting kicked around and he's not really getting much out of this whole relationship. Another similarity, well, Nick Lowe shares some elements of his story with other people that we like. Chrissie Hynde.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of country and 60s sound in Chrissy's career, and I like her. I like the range of things. Some of it's rocky, and some of it's, again, love songs and missing you type songs.
Yeah.
But then we come back to Warren. When Warren Zevon did love songs, they often had a sharp angle to them, to say the least. More to the point, the similarities with Warren Zevon for Nick Lowe come to, he threw away a growing career, a burgeoning career, to live in a bottle for a while.
Oops.
Yeah, and then he came good, as Warren did, in a renaissance. I love that word, renaissance.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
Renaissance.
Yeah, I hope Nick Lowe, of course, avoids the trajectory that Warren Zevon picked, which was to get lifestyle-induced cancer and die. But since Nick's now 75, I think he's doing quite well. I think
he's doing all right.
He seems to have avoided that.
Yeah.
I think he lives in the same musical universe as Tom Petty, Carl Perkins, and, of course, the people that we've mentioned. He was part of the Cash family for a while. He married Johnny Cash's stepdaughter, Carlene Carter, who was, who, as I say, was his stepdaughter. And he...
Sort of musical...
preordination almost.
I was going to say. That's right.
And
musical royalty, the Carter family, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, certainly in America. He wrote a song called The Beast in Me. And when he was writing the song The Beast in Me, he actually wrote it in Johnny Cash's voice.
Well,
and Johnny Cash then picked it up. It's one of the songs on the first American Recordings album. It's called The Beast in Me.
The song, yeah.
So, if you're going to have one of your songs covered, you get Johnny Cash to do it. It's a bit like Nick Cave.
And he also wrote a song with Carlene, Time Wounds All Heals.
And that's only fair. Yeah, he's always got a bit of a play on words in many of his songs. So through the 80s and the 90s, his output was patchy, a bit like a lot of artists.
We talked about it in the last show, how sort of people can rise into stardom and then sort of drift for a while and then come back again.
Yeah, well, his drifting was alcohol fueled, and drugs.
Oh, and drugs as well. Yeah.
So he thought, well, I might as well do the lot.
Get that out of my system.
Get into it. Yep.
Or into my system, and I'll come back later. Mid-90s,
he turned a corner, gave up the alcohol and drugs, or cut down on the booze. That's as good as giving up.
That's the same.
And he did a run of albums in the mid-90s, The Impossible Bird, Dig My Mood, and The Convincer, and I'll pull some songs out of those and put them on the playlist. But he sounds a little bit croony.
I know.
Yeah.
I kind of like the croon. Like, it's a nice morning album, mate.
Oh, I didn't get criticised with this is not morning music, but I did get, what is this?
Because he goes from sort of jangly 60s sort of pop beat, sort of sound, through to, the country and western, as you said, and through to this real croon. Some of the crooning is like your fair income, crooning.
Like he's on a Perry Como special.
I know, and I kind of liked it, to be honest. I was listening to quite a bit of it.
Well, in terms of how you would use those songs, Nick from Victoria tells me that it's ideal for calm DIY, like plastering and painting. And it's important that you can pin household tasks onto a certain artist.
Actually, you know what? It's not a bad point, because you probably shouldn't be listening to Public Image Limited when you're trying to do something intricate.
Well, probably not. No,
nice calming influence like a bit of Nick crooning would be a great idea. Because as you hit your finger with the hammer, you'll go, "That's okay."
Yeah, but if you're listening to Johnny Rotten, you're going to have a problem.
You're going to bash something.
You'll throw that hammer, and then you need to fill another hole in your wall.
Yeah.
He produced. He became a great producer as well. But I thought this was one of the funniest stories of about Nick Lowe's life.
Yeah.
He got the nickname Basher.
Basher,
because his approach to production was, yeah, that'll do. Let's not waste a lot of time on doing that. Let's not let's see how it all comes together in the mix. So
okay,
yeah,
not 1,000 takes. Just get it in.
No, we're not talking about spending 9 months making an album or 12 months making an album. Thanks, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he'd knock it out in a week or two. And when you think that, particularly with a band, when it's starting out or in the early part of its career, they don't have a lot of money to spend on a lot of studio time, and the label won't pay for it.
No, that's right.
So you've got to make an album. It's got to be good, and you can't bugger around spending all of your money on production. So Elvis Costello talks about that, and he says, Nick's production style was to exhibit massive enthusiasm for the moment and seem possessed with the conviction that whatever we had just played was absolutely it. Don't try and second guess it. Just do it. It's done. It's already great.
Done.
So he produced. He was signed up to Stiff Records, which was one of the resounding. The people say who, but they were one of the leading labels for the whole punk revolution, and he produced the first punk single, "New Rose" by The Damned.
Oh yeah. He did Costello's first 5 albums.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a lot.
And that's given how hard to work with by some accounts Elvis Costello was, and how much emphasis he put on his sound quality. That's really saying something. But when he used to, Nick Lowe is older than punks. Right, the punks were around their 20s in mid-70s. So Nick Lowe's been going since the beginning of the 70s, the late 60s. And he's older than the punks that he's working with. So the Damned used to call him Uncle or Dad.
Right.
So
he's done a lot. He's done The Pretenders. So
he's done lots of people that we like. And I must say, I like what I've heard of his production style. No buggering around. No found sounds. No, let's not put some conversations in the middle of a track.
Let's do a 12-minute track and have the first 2 minutes of illegible, unlistenable chatting. Yeah.
So some of the people we've talked about and slandered over the years could well have done with his production approach. Yeah, I don't want this nonsense. His lyrics. As you can see, I've got page after page of excerpts from his lyrics, and I won't bore people with that. But let's just pick a couple at random. There's one song that I heard called "Join the Club." Now I'm going to put this on the playlist, and I listened to it, and his enunciation of words is very, very clear, and that's important to me. When you're listening to a song, you want to hear the words.
You've got to hear the words.
The words, yeah.
Otherwise, it's not worth doing.
So it's a good example of his later career. Yeah, and the album for this particular one is "At My Age." Which I must say we've said on occasion.
No.
If you've ever had someone come along, reach in, pull out your heart and break it just for fun, as easy as humming a song, join the club. But he hasn't had that happen to him. So what's important with his song writing is that he's able to put, a bit like script writing. If you're a script writer for a movie, you don't have to have done everything Michael Bay does in his movies, and blown shit up all around the place. You can just write the script, and he writes a script for a song.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So he envisages. He says I've had some hard times, but not all the things that happen in my songs. They haven't happened to me. I can just imagine them. So he writes great songs. "Cruel to Be Kind," obviously. And he writes fun stuff. In 1999, he wrote a song called 7 Nights to Rock, which 7 nights I'm going to have a whirl, 7 nights with a different girl. And then he lists a different girl for 5 nights of the week. And then he finishes off Saturday and Sunday with any chick will do. So this song, when I heard this on the Best of Nick, harks back to that rockabilly style. Rockabilly, I keep calling it rockability, but rockabilly would be what you have when you can play rockabilly, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, work on that.
He did a song in 1983 called Raging Eyes. It's a rollicking song. It's an example of, even when he was in a decline, he was still capable of turning out nice songs on occasion. Not all of them were good, but when he wrote a good one, he wrote a good one. Well, she can work those lights so they fiddle with the traffic. Sometimes she's mean as an M16 automatic.
That's me.
Yeah, that's. And he wrote a song. You know how Lou Reed, which we've talked about Lou Reed on occasion, being really unsure what he wants to do with his career. He wants, whether to tell people to F off or
Sure.
or tell them to pee off. He's not really sure what he wants to do. Nick supposedly had some parts in his career where he wasn't real happy with his label. So he wrote a song called I Love My Label. Yeah, and my label's always pleased to hear some of these pretty melodies, so I sing them some. And he then had a hit in Japan, of all places. The Japanese market, the Japanese charts are extraordinary, what they like and what they don't like. I mean, back earlier than Nick Lowe, they love live albums. Bob Dylan did a live album there. Cheap Trick did a live album there, and Deep Purple, of course, did Made in Japan.
The top of the pops.
Top of the pops, listing Japan right from the outset. So he did Bay City Rollers, We Love You.
Yeah.
School's been a drag, but that's all right, because we're going to see Woody on stage tonight.
He also produced. Remember that parody band, Alberto Los Trios Paranoias.
Hey the Shark.
And so he's got his latest album out. His latest album is called Indoor Safari, and it's Nick Lowe and the Lost Straitjackets.
Isn't that great?
So
they're his backing band on the tour that he's doing at the moment.
Yes, Lost Straitjackets. Yes, that's right. So I assume that's a bit of a playback to those guys.
Yeah, he's nothing if not fun. He's certainly able to adopt whatever sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It's almost as if, what's the point in doing it if you can't enjoy it? And that's a great attitude for a rock star.
If you actually go on the Apple Music, there's a clip that comes up, and the Lost Straitjackets band are all wearing the those wrestlers,
Mexican wrestler masks.
Yes.
Yeah, they call it luchador.
That's it. Yeah, so they're all wearing those.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
So it'd be interesting to see him live, though, wouldn't it?
I'd love to. I'm going to keep an eye out for when he's touring. He's, like I said, he's not touring. He's touring northeast USA, New England area, and the Midwest. He's touring early February. He's touring London and Edinburgh and a couple of other shows there. Nothing about Australia. Now, when you're 75, you're not really going to be excited about getting on a plane for as long as it takes to fly out here.
Americans really don't like flying to Australia.
No.
Everyone I've ever seen talks
He's
about
English.
Of course, I knew that, but I mean, he lives in America, doesn't he?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't ask him.
Oh, if you give him a call,
I will. Yeah.
Ask him where he's living.
Yeah. Before this goes to air, and I'll just say, as an update.
Yeah, just an update. He's living in Los Angeles or something.
Yeah.
Los Angeles not too bad, but New York.
You know how we even in this conversation and other times we've been talking about Nick, songs come up and we say, oh, I know that song. Yeah. And there's lots of that all through his career, but he's also been covered. Yeah. I said, we talked about The Beast in Me. Cash covered it. It's on the First American Recordings album. Then the first of a highly successful series that we absolutely frothed about earlier this year.
Agree.
Peace, Love and Understanding, Elvis Costello, and Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age did it. And I think Nick's version is better. And Elvis Costello, very angry back in those days. Yeah, he was a very angry little boy. Yeah, and I think that Nick's version is better. You know, it's more ironic.
Yeah, don't tell Elvis that.
No. Now, well, even he's calmed down. He sort of does more quiet soul than Elvis Costello and the Attractions. What's so funny about Peace, Love and Understanding was then covered by a fellow called Curtis Stigers.
No
It
idea.
appeared... No, me either.
No idea.
It appeared on the Bodyguard soundtrack in 1992 and apparently sold 40 million copies thanks to Whitney Houston. So...
Really?
So, as Lowe said, it gave me a bit of a windfall of songwriting royalties just as my career started moving in a less commercial direction.
Wow. That's amazing,
Isn't it great? Yeah.
So things aren't going real well. Oh, here's a check. Whoa.
Whoa, well,
Happy
royalty
days.
check is in, honey.
Happy days.
And we've talked about songwriting, being a craft, and we've talked about many songs being almost artisan-like. And Nick Lowe is a clear example of doing that. His ability to put himself into somebody else's place and write the song about somebody who's hurting, who's upset, but it's not him. These things aren't him to be talking about, and the best songwriters can do that. His life, he has had an interesting life. Lots of alcohol, lots of drugs. He was a heavy drinker. Apparently, though, he never took it to the levels of insane excess. To quote,
Oh, that's nice then.
that Zevon attained.
Just a bit of a pisshead.
That's right. Yeah, not a chronic Olympic standard drinker.
Speaking of the Olympics.
That's right. Yeah. So he joined he had a friend by the name of Dave Edmunds, who you've probably heard of, who was in a band called Rockpile in the mid-70s. And he played in Rockpile for a while, and they did some good fun. I hear you knocking.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
But by the early 80s, Lowe's reputation had already started to be, his reputation was, well, put somewhat charitably, a boozy underachiever.
Boozy underachiever.
Yeah, do you like this?
They're fine words.
Stiff Records, as a good record company should, put together a tour of venues across the UK, and it was a package of the people that they'd signed up. There was Elvis Costello, Nick Lowe, Ian Dury, and Reckless Eric. Yeah, you might have heard of it. I'd do the whole wide world. I'd cross the whole wide world. Not a fan?
No, too reckless for my liking.
Yeah. So the idea was to rotate the bill each night so that each of them had a chance of being the opening act and each of them had a chance of finishing the show to give them all a reasonable exposure to the audience.
Yep.
Very quickly, Lowe took the opportunity of being the opening act so he could spend the rest of the night drinking.
Happy days.
Yeah. There's a good way to build up your fan base, isn't it? Yeah. So Edmunds, his mate, there was an interview called Born Fighters in 1979, which is a Rockpile documentary. These documentaries about little-known bands, I think it's great. But Edmunds tried a sort of documentary, and he's talking to Lowe, who's already pissed and well into his second bottle of red wine.
Is that right?
Yeah, and Edmunds is saying, mate, you've got to pull onto the hard shoulder.
Oh, really?
Totally unsuccessful intervention. Just didn't work. But Lowe never takes himself too seriously. His approach to his whole life story is very self-deprecating. He freely admits that he would have been more successful if not for the drugs and drink. But he also says, well, I've had some great adventures. I've met people that I wouldn't have met. I've played on stage with people that I wouldn't have even dreamed of seeing live.
And he's out there crooning away in America,
and he's doing well.
You know.
I've been such a lucky devil, he says. It's the drink and the drugs have led to some quite interesting situations, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
And just like Nick Cave, Johnny Cash covered one of my songs.
What more could you want?
What more could you want? I read another interview with Nick Lowe, a story about Nick Lowe in the album Louder.
Oh, yeah.
And it talks about his family situation. So he met his wife, Peter, who is a graphic designer.
Yeah.
And he says, she likes older music, so I was right up her alley. And her comment to him was, he said, I do all these songs and I've done all these albums. And she said she knew a little bit about him. And she said, yeah, I could have done better record covers for you, though. So where this interviewer is in his house, they come in. There's a copy of Uncut magazine sitting on the coffee table.
Yeah. And
Nick Lowe's son comes in and he says, "Oh, look on the cover of the magazine. It's John Lydon from Public Image."
Yeah.
And Lowe was never a fan of Johnny Lydon, and he says, "He doesn't look like that now." And he says, "Look, I always steered clear of John. He was too quick for me. You never knew where you'd end up. The other guys in the Pistols, however, were all sweethearts." So then his son asks, "Is he still alive?"
Well, he is. And on that note, we'll say, thanks, Nick. Thanks, John. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. And if you like this, tell your friends about us. Also, contact us at mickandthefatman@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks very much. See you next time.